Welcome back to Blackout, House of Bob's cyberpunk adventure set in the Vantal Megaplex and powered by the Sprawl RPG system.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'm playing Olivia Crow, who's on the run from MassCorp while trying to figure out who's friend and who's foe.
This is Shubert. I'll be playing Bunk, the cyberfunky audio junkie, packing beats on the Vantal streets.
My name is Alex. I'll be playing Garrett, conspiracy theorist, wildcard, senior citizen.
I'm Dan. I'll be playing Tiz, the hard-nosed reporter, tracking down corruption no matter the cost.
And I'm Jake, your GM. If you want to support the show, check us out on Patreon, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, or just tell your friends about us. Roll on. During our last session, for the most part, you guys were just taking a well-earned break, doing some shopping and taking care of some business. You started to put out some feelers for new work when Bunk stumbled upon a request on a message board for troubleshooters and those with troubles. The client is looking for help investigating a string of murders, possibly linked to the passing Angel Axiom, and in particular, the murder of the client's brother. You arrange to meet the client to discuss further details, but before we get out there, anything you need to do? Anything you need to look up, call, prepare?
No, I think we kind of did a bunch of housework last session.
I'm going to slip like a couple Werthers in my pocket, but that's it. I'm ready to go.
Of course, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
And they clink against the Werthers you had put there before.
Yeah, put on a fresh pair of socks,
I don't bother.
clean pair of sandals.
Over top of his current socks.
That actually does make me wonder, like, do you guys have any kind of pre-mission rituals? Like good luck charms or good luck rituals, anything like that?
Just a couple of fresh Werthers.
Other than a couple of fresh Werthers and a fresh pair of threads, usually.
I crack out a fresh new notebook every time. Those little pocket flip ones. So I write the name of the client on the front of it and the code name.
What's the code name?
Yeah, because you don't have a name yet. So.
Yeah. It'll be determined later. TBD.
TBD, yeah.
TBD.
I was just going to say, Olivia just basically, leaves out food and just makes sure everything's good for the birds before she goes.
Oh, that's nice.
Can Bunk play us some like hype music?
Oh, yeah.
Get us pumped?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. And then there's our before job ritual of fucking rocking out.
Yeah. We're all like headbanging in my van.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's an RV now.
Yep.
Headbanging in the RV.
Which I think we did say last week that you have to give a name.
Shoot.
So think about that.
Brainstorm, you guys.
I thought it was
SUV
Artie the RV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our RV the RV.
Our
RV
Jason
the RV?
Unborn.
Artie the RV?
Jason Unborn.
I do like the idea of naming it like a wicked awesome name.
RB Unborn.
Jason the Unborn.
The client sent you some coordinates in Western Van. It's near a few low-income tenement complexes, and you hop in the RV and drive down. And when you get there, you find you're at basically a worse-for-wear skate park in the middle of these apartment complexes. The concrete is chipped and crumbling, eroded by water leaking from nearby pipes. The area is covered in graffiti, some of which actually animates under an AR filter, showing the graffitied
Sick.
characters riding the ramps and bowls and flickering as they perform various tricks. You pass a few teens huddled around their vape rigs and head to the designated meeting spot. There's a woman standing there. You would hazard late 20s. She's wearing loose, wide olive pants and a silvery metallic top underneath an oversized gray hoodie. Their lower face is hidden behind a MassCorp rebreather, but you see bright green eyes and a long braid of hair down her front. She's looking around nervously, sees you approach, and motions you towards her.
We head on over. Sup?
So,
Yeah, just cruise on over casually. I've got like little wheels in my shoes, like Heelys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just bust those out to kind of cruise around in the skate park.
It's a trend that's come full circle. Mm-hmm. It only took like however many years.
Oh, Heelys are way in now.
They never went away.
It's harder
really.
to find shoes without them.
Yeah, the old people are really struggling. They don't work well with walkers.
Luckily, you can.
well, the walkers have wheels on the bottom too.
Now they
That's
got a
true.
mechanism so you can click them in and out, at least.
Yeah. You control it with your mind now. That's the big advantage.
Right.
Yeah, I mean...
This is all great lore building, you guys.
Yeah, it's really important that we're doing this. Sure. So you head over and she pulls back her hood and says, thanks for coming. I really don't know what the etiquette is here, so I'm just going to lay it out. My brother Henry was found dead last month.
I didn't know him, so I'm not
You
sure.
knew that.
we knew that part, Garrett.
Okay.
It's still upsetting.
That is true.
I need somebody to find out what happened. Who did it and why? He's not the only unexplained murder in that area recently either. I don't know what's going on, but something bad is going on. Can you help? What do you need to know?
Everything.
Yeah. Well, this is something I've always wanted to say, but did your brother have any enemies?
Enemies? I mean, he wasn't a popular guy, but I don't think anybody would want to kill him.
Garrett asks if he had any like weird friends that she knows of.
And I kind of like tilt my head towards Garrett. You know.
His type.
Honestly, he was kind of a loner. He ran in some art circles with some the artists that he worked with, but I mean,
Art
they're
circles?
a bit off the wall, a bit eccentric, but again, I don't know about anybody wanting to kill him.
Oh, he's an artist? I'm out.
What were his regular hangout spots? Like, give us a rundown of his like day-to-day.
A day in the life.
Yeah, she gives you a few different locations. It sounds like that he lived in Puget Sound, down in the southern part of Vantal. He had a small apartment there, and he worked at a movie theater. And then there was a couple, some bars and restaurants and things like that he would go to every once in a while, as well as an art gallery.
You said he lived in a movie theater?
No, sorry, he worked at a movie theater.
Oh.
I might have said lived.
No, I think you did.
My
say.
brother's dead. I'm sorry.
This is all falling apart. You did it.
It's all right. Well, what's the movie theater that he worked at?
Yeah, let's get that down.
It's called You See It.
You see it.
You
as
see
in,
it.
You see it.
And now you
As in
don't.
the letter U is in the letter
now
C.
he
As in
don't.
IT.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, so that chain, you see it.
I don't know if it's a chain, to be honest.
Could be a local chain, yeah. I don't know. Who else knew your brother well? And his friends or anybody we could talk to?
Yeah, where's his artist buddies hang out?
There's a gallery there where he would exhibit. But, again, I haven't seen him in a while. We talked occasionally, but I don't really know who his, immediate circle is. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't anybody.
So what are you looking for us to find out here? Are you just looking to clear your conscience, or is this like a vengeance situation?
I want to know who did it and why. And like I said, it's not the only case in that area recently. So I don't know what's happening, but someone's got to stop it.
Okay. Well,
We'll get justice for your son, or not your son, for your brother.
But also for your son.
Yeah, for your soon-to-be deceased son.
Oh, no.
What was her name again? I'm sure we caught that at some point.
You haven't asked?
And the brother's name. Do we know the brother's name?
We know the brother's
No.
name is Henry.
Henry. Okay.
What was Henry's last name? And if you don't mind me asking,
What's your first name?
yeah.
and your mother's maiden name.
My name is Adira, and Henry Jericho, he went by.
These names sound familiar.
Does sound kind of familiar.
Jake, where have we heard these names before?
Out of character. Is that the guy we murdered?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't
we
murder
did go
anyone.
into a movie theater, right? Yeah.
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 Cool.
That's
cool.
the guy that Bogdan, Dandelion, Lex, and the team
Yeah.
But mostly those two.
Yeah.
They did it.
were involved with.
So Adira's name sounds familiar also. Have we heard of her in the story before, or am I just
so.
misremembering?
I don't think so, anyway.
Is that Adira Jericho?
Well, she didn't specify. She said that he goes by Henry Jericho. She only gave you her first name.
Not important. It's okay.
All right.
As long as we get that credit card info.
I also only have a first name, so it's okay.
All right. Well, maybe
Yeah, you're not the only one
happens.
with just a first name.
should we head down to the movie theater?
Well, I want to get the name of the gallery as well.
How about we do the get the job roll now that you guys are in negotiations
we're getting
a little
the job.
bit? Yep.
Sure.
So it's an edge roll. I think Bunk did the most talking, so let's get Bunk to do it.
I thought it was Tis that kind of did the most talking.
Yeah.
Sure, either or.
He's an investigative reporter, too, so.
I got 8. 8 for my edge roll.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you get to choose one of the options on the list below. First, the employer provides useful information, intel. The employer provides useful assets, gear. The job pays well. The meeting doesn't attract attention. Or the employer is identifiable.
Well, we already know her name.
I was going to either go with useful information or assets or pays well. So any of those 3 I'm good with.
Useful information.
Yeah, I think so. Same.
Okay, that just means that it will attract attention.
That's fine.
Yeah, and it won't pay well.
We don't even know whose attention we're attracting, so
I'm fine with it not paying well, but yeah, the attracting attention is the only one that's like, I feel like a major danger.
Let's be honest, we're going to attract some attention.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
That's true. Okay.
All right. Yeah, so we'll go with useful information.
Okay, so I mean, it's not like the conversation is over. You guys can still ask her whatever questions you want to, but she is able to give you some more information about, what he's been up to lately and some of the places that he hangs out and things like that, and that's where you'll be able to spend your intel later.
Cool.
Some of the other things she tells you during this conversation, she had some suspicions about the passing angel axiom she mentioned in her original message, and she elaborates on that, saying that, again, she hadn't seen Henry in a while, but they'd been chatting occasionally, and he had been going to some axiom sermons, specifically for content for his podcast. He wasn't like going as a prospective petitioner or anything. He was there basically just to experience it and to pass that on. And it sounded like it was going well, but then I guess after his last visit, he kind of dropped it very suddenly, started acting a little cagey when she brought it up. And that's kind of the only change or weird behavior that she had noticed from Henry.
How long was that before you didn't hear from him again?
Probably would have been about a week or so before that.
Okay. Do you know where he was going to these passing angel axiom sermons? Like the location?
There's a church in Puget Sound nearby.
So how much of this information did we know before we ran into her, and how much are we finding out now?
You knew her suspicions about the PAA. She mentioned that in her message, but the details of why she suspected that just came up in this conversation.
Okay. Garrett remembers hearing Burn Knightley talk about and have a intellectual debate with someone from the passing angel axiom and exposing their lies. And so he warns the rest of the crew that the passing angel axiom are bad fucking news.
Yeah, man.
And if we're going to be, looking into them, we should be really prepared for this.
I mean, we're walking into a cult. That makes sense.
Yeah. So this Henry Jericho was trying to investigate them and learn information about them.
Yeah, basically he had a podcast where he would infiltrate certain groups and things like that and try to expose them and do investigative journalism and that kind of thing. Apparently he wasn't very good at it.
Did he release any episodes on the Axiom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I immediately start downloading them and listening to them at 2.5 times speed.
That's okay.
Sure. So you start downloading them. I think maybe once you're done with Adira, you can go through those. Anything else that you have to ask her at the moment?
Yeah. Don't leave town.
This is not asking, but
More telling.
yeah, you're demanding, but
Yeah.
We'll keep in contact with you, and you keep in contact with us, and that way we'll know we're both safe and on the case.
Garrett asks if she's listened to Burn Knightley.
Who?
To Burn Knightley?
I think she heard you.
Burn
She's not
Knightley.
Garrett. She's not Garrett age.
She puts one hand behind her neck and kind of looks quizzically at you. No, I haven't heard of
Burn
that.
Knightley.
Count yourself lucky then.
No, I haven't heard Burn Knightley.
I like how she's speaking slower to Garrett.
Well, you might know more about this if you had. Anyway, Garrett just, like puts his hands up like, whatever, forget this lady. She doesn't even know Burn. We'll figure it out.
This is why she needs our help, Garrett.
Right. Okay. Well, I've listened to Burn, so we'll
you've got
figure it
that
out.
covered for her.
I've got
I
it
always
covered.
assumed like Burn was like wrong about everything, so wouldn't he be like pro Axiom? Be like, yeah,
I don't
they're
know.
all right
I mean-
guys.
Who, Burn?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
No.
wrong clock's right twice a day or whatever. they
He's
say.
right. He's the
That's
one
right.
that's pointing out that they're controlled by like the Vantal Transit Commission. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
By the council.
The council.
Yeah, by
the
the
council.
council.
They're all one big conglomerate.
Bunk
Yeah.
is learning these things.
That's right. Yeah. Backed by the board of directors. And you just got
You
to
don't-
follow the money. Follow the money, people.
All right. Where do you guys want to go first then?
Well, I suppose let's go to Puget Sound.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive down there, so you guys can figure out what the rest of your plan is on the way.
Mm-hmm. We have that whole time to come up with a name for the RV.
Oh yeah, what's the
It's
name of the
Artie
case you're
the
putting on the
RV.
book? Art
Artie
V?
the RV?
Artie
Already
the
the
RV.
RV.
Like short for Arthur.
I was hoping for something a little more cyberpunk, I guess.
Arthur is pretty cyberpunk. Have you seen that aardvark? Come on.
So you pile into unnamed van, and it goes slower as long as it doesn't have a name.
Yeah, that's why I always name my vehicles.
Go slower as long as it doesn't have. That's amazing.
And you head out of Vantal, and you have to drive through Median to get there. So past all of the, fancy suburban ecologies like Applewood, and past the big farm columns, and eventually down into Puget Sound, which is quite built up like Vantal is, but not as tall. It's more, built outwards, and it's actually built at sea level. Well, the new sea level anyway. One of the first things you notice is if you thought the pollution and smog was bad in Van, it's even worse here in Puget Sound, and it's pretty common for everybody on the street you pass to be wearing some kind of mask or rebreather. Yeah, so you have kind of a couple, I guess, destinations in mind. There's either the movie theater where Henry was found dead. There's the church where the Passing Angel Axiom holds their sermons. And while you're thinking about that, you should roll your beginning of mission moves.
Oh, right.
And we need to stake creds. These are the things we always forget. And I even put in my notes, don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to do some 3D printing in the van.
All right. I have a potential name.
Hit me.
I'm thinking cortege.
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 Why?
It has a meaning. It's a solemn procession, especially for a funeral.
That's terrible.
Real party van.
Jesus. I figure it's like
It's our literal funeral.
just
car.
begging for a TPK.
Why don't we just
Yeah.
call it the hearse?
This is the car we're
If we're
being
going to do
buried
that.
in.
How about Good Luck Gary? It's got alliteration and it literally has good luck in the name.
You know what? I'll vote for Good Luck Gary.
All right.
Oh, I've got a second vote.
Well,
Amazing.
because no one's voting for Artie, so
Yeah, throw that right in the garbage.
Big good luck, Artie.
But it doesn't have the alliteration.
Let's start with Bunk then. Do you want to do your 3D printing?
While you think about more of that, Sam.
Yeah, let's do some 3D printing. Oh, nice. I rolled a 9 and I have +2 mind, so 11.
Cool. So you've got 3 pieces of 3D printable gear.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia.
Yeah, I got my scavenge to roll. I got a 6 + 2 mind for Olivia.
Cool. So that'd be 1 piece of gear.
Mm-hmm.
1 bird-sized piece of gear.
Yes.
And Tiss, you've got nose for a story.
Yep. I got a 12.
Holy moly.
What
Gee
was
whiz.
that?
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure that's 3 hold.
Yep.
You can use that to ask research questions or start a new story, or if you find something neat
Mm-hmm.
or want to make something neat. And then we will have everybody stake creds on the mission. So again, a stake of 1 to 3.
3.
If you vote 3, then the action or legwork clocks will go up. So yeah, a quick 3 from Garrett.
Yep. Always.
Does he even have 3?
Oh yeah, he's loaded. Still somehow.
Yeah, I don't. And sorry, which clocks go up for that?
doesn't even care.
I think it's the action clock first.
Great. Does this count as hindering the mission in pursuit of financial gain?
Oh, yeah. That's what you
Yeah,
always do.
it does.
Bullshit. You just get XP for
Yeah, being
fucking
nice.
us
extra
over.
cred. Yeah.
And then being so stingy when he ruins all of your stuff to pay it back.
It's all in the name of my own financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Bunk next.
I mean, I could do 3. I have 3, but we can actually spend our cred during the mission, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'll just stake 2 so I don't raise up the action clock and keep my 1 cred.
Olivia?
I'm going to do a single cred.
Whoa.
I'm still pretty poor.
And Tiss.
Let's go 3.
3?
Yep. Let's do it.
3 from Tiss.
How much cred would we have to be considered like wealthy?
I don't know. Ask Garrett.
It's not really quite that simple. Like, credit does not represent just the amount of money you have on hand. It's also your street cred and, your clout and assets and things like that.
If I have more than 0 cred, I consider myself wealthy.
Yeah.
You're in the black at least.
Now, that said, for as far as you could tell, a private citizen to be able to pay out, 4, 10, 18 credits to you guys after this mission, that is pretty significant.
Yeah.
For the audience's sake, since we still have to do Someone Will Find Out for your Get the Job role, we flash back a little bit to when you guys leave the skate park and we see Adira. After you guys leave, she sighs really heavily. Then you hear her phone start to vibrate. She picks it up and answers it and talks for a few minutes with the person on the phone and says, "Yeah, Dad, I'm working on it, okay? Just leave it." And the legwork clock will go up by 1. So you guys are starting out with the legwork clock at 1800 and the auction clock at 15.
Okay. I
fine.
mean, that's easy for us.
Yeah.
That's lots of time.
Easy peasy. Yeah, so you guys have arrived in Puget Sound, new territory for you. And again, it's really heavy with smog, and the people are almost exclusively covered in masks or suits or things like that. So it's kind of a little less personal as you're walking the streets. And yeah, where are you heading first?
I have questions about the passing angel axiom.
Go for it.
If we wanted to attend a sermon or something, is this the sort of church where you need a referral, someone to bring you there, or is it just open to drop-ins?
It is open to drop-ins.
Okay.
That said, Bunk does actually have a straight-up invitation to attend one of the sermons.
Mm-hmm.
You had done a little bit of asking around about it a while back. Again, anybody can come, but they might actually be expecting you, which you could use to your advantage, perhaps, or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather not go straight to the church. I'd rather go to the theater first, just because I feel like going to the church is more likely to draw more attention.
Yeah, especially since I'm a reporter, it might actually. I don't know how well known I am these days, but I might get recognized as someone who.
Not very.
Hey,
Well, you'd be wearing that press pass, right?
I think you're
So-
well known. You're well known in certain circles.
I'm well known by name, not by picture, maybe.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, I don't think Joe Schmo on the street would be able to pick you out of a crowd.
So I'm not signing autographs and stuff.
Should we go ask around at the theater then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want to do, is go to the theater first.
Yeah, I want to see
Cool.
the crime scene.
The month-old crime scene.
Yeah, there's bound to be some debris left somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, as you understand it, the police weren't able to help much on this, so there might still be something.
I'm thinking more just to ask around,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see if there's any witnesses.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
See if there's a hidden camera to one of the employees puts in.
All right. Sounds good. You drive down to the theater. It's in a pretty poor part of town, and you see almost all the businesses along the street here are closed. And in fact, when you get up to the You See It movie theater, you see that there's a big condemned sign on the front. And you take a little closer look, and it says, "Danger, stay out, black mold infestation," things like that. And the windows and doors are boarded up.
All right, everyone got their rebreathers on?
I mean, yeah.
I'm asking
Everyone
the
else.
other two. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we slip them on our face.
Garrett doesn't believe in black mold.
I
so-
knew it.
Well, there's also just the pollution, Garrett. You don't want to be mind controlled by the council, right?
No. Pollution is a conspiracy from the council to submit us into wearing masks.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
This is This is too on point. I don't like it.
Anti-mask wearer.
I feel like Garrett would believe that the pollution is like a terrible thing caused by the government.
I mean, that's the actual truth, is it not? Yeah.
The government caused the pollution so they could block out the lights from alien invaders. But the idea that pollution is bad for your lungs is a lie. That's just a cover so that they could keep us from discovering the true lights in the sky.
Yeah. You realize I wear a mask for pollution, right?
I don't know. This all checks out for me. Yeah, personally.
I'm not even going to try, and I just opened the door. I mean, Garrett doesn't have much left in the tank anyway, so like.
I know. This is like real life where you're trying to keep the old person safe, but they don't want to be safe.
He's like walking hospice.
Honestly. Wow.
Cool.
That's so bad.
I opened the door.
Yeah, you have to pull off a few boards to get in there, and you push it open, and there's kind of a little cloud of dust and some kind of spore and fumes that
Breathe it in, Garrett.
black
breathe
spore,
it in deep.
Can Garrett have to roll a harm?
We'll have him roll later for lung damage.
Okay. All right.
But for now, you enter into the movie theater proper. You see that there are signs of some homeless people that have been making their home here. There's a small kind of campfire set up and some discarded food packages. You see the ticketing booth at the far side that leads into the different theaters. It has a metal, like bulletproof shutters on the ticketing booth itself, which are currently shut. And, I mean, that's about it. It's dark and empty and, yeah.
So are there any homeless people around right now?
I bet you could find one.
Okay. I'd like to find one.
Yeah, you start looking around the lobby a little bit, and you kind of go down one of the hallways that leads to a bathroom, and you see a few people huddled around a small fire. They look up at you as you walk by, but then look back down at their, a can of beans that they got there.
Is it actually like cold?
The beans?
It's an AR fire, Dan.
I bet they're...
Well, actually, I guess it depends. For some reason, I was picturing you guys were there at night, but maybe that's not the case.
Well, I just imagine that the theater itself is so dark inside, like, most theaters, and probably a lot of the lights are out or not working.
Yeah.
Power's been cut off.
Probably more for light and for light entertainment as well than it is for warmth. But yeah, I mean, again, they're not paying you much heed.
Can I maybe offer them something to tell us a bit about, like, how long they've been here, how long the place has been closed? Can I offer them a couple Werthers?
You can give them your
sweeten the
rebreather
deal?
since you're not using it.
I'll offer them my rebreather since I'm not using it.
Nice.
Do you want this? I don't need it.
This thing's a conspiracy.
Yeah, see if you can find any Burn fans. You can talk to them.
Well, I just want to know, like, how long they've been here. Like, how long has the place been closed? Like, did it close down as soon as this murder happened?
I mean, it's
or?
been less than it closed down within a month of him dying.
You can also just ask them.
Yep.
I just asked them. Yeah.
All right, let's talk to him.
Garrett, you wander up towards them and start asking some prodding questions, and they don't seem too interested in answering your questions to start, but they kind of mumble a simple response like, "Oh, we've camped out here for a couple months now."
A couple months.
What?
So,
But Henry worked here, did he not?
like a month ago.
Yeah, and the random feature we rolled for the movie theater was Homeless Magnet. And the lobby was full of homeless people.
Oh, okay. So they were hanging out here before it was closed.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So did they know when it closed then?
3.5 weeks ago.
How come? Do you know why?
They don't know why.
They don't know why. Do they remember an accident happening here?
It seems like they're starting to get a little tired of the questions. They're just trying to enjoy their lunch here.
I understand as a person who's lived on the streets, and I pull out some
Food.
stuff. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I sweetened the deal with some Werthers.
No, some actual Nutribars
Yeah,
or
we
whatever.
raid the
Nutri-Grain.
RV refrigerator. What we got? We got some sliced meats. That's
the food
about it.
Yeah,
Just
I have
deli
some
meat. Lots of deli meat.
vitamin bars, all the good stuff.
So why don't we have either Olivia or Garrett, since you guys were kind of heading this,
You know what I'll do is I'll help Olivia.
Okay.
You don't even know what the role's going to be.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to help you. I'm going to offer some dessert further. So I'm going to help.
Yeah,
I'm going to
makes
aid.
sense. Main course dessert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fast talk roll, which is style.
I have a 0 style, so I don't know if yours is better.
It is.
Yeah, I kind of thought so because you're supposed to be the talker.
Yeah. So then,
I can assist you
okay.
because you were asking a bunch of questions and I'm passing out some
Right. Yeah.
supplies.
Okay. Sure. So I'll roll. How does it work? Do you roll to assist first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are supposed to.
And I got a 7 roll, and Olivia has a +1 with Garrett.
Cool. So you'll get a +1 on top of your 2d6 and on top of your style.
Okay. That's good. Because with the assist, that is a 7.
Woof. NPCs do it, but someone will find out. The MC will advance the appropriate countdown clock.
Oh, no.
Bum, bum, bum.
They better give us some good information.
Yeah. I guess the thing is, if they're willing to talk to you, there's no reason they might not answer somebody else's questions later.
What? Other people have food to give away?
The last question you asked was, did anything weird happen here, or was there an accident or something to that effect?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them pipes up and says, yeah, I saw those 4 guys. I don't know. They seemed a little weird, but after they left, I saw the workers. They went upstairs, and there was some shouting and some screaming, and then the police came, and then they shut the place down a couple days later. So, I mean, if you're looking for suspicious stuff, that sounds suspicious to me.
Does sound suspicious. I assume you probably know where some good places to avoid cameras in here would be. If you can point those areas of where the cameras might be, that'd be really helpful.
It's not like security is super tight in this place. There isn't a bevy of cameras or anything, but there's one over the ticketing booth and one at the entrance.
Cool.
I have to imagine the police took the tapes already, though.
Well, and if the power's out, they're burning barrels for light. Then I don't even know if the cameras would be running, right?
Well, the cameras
Right?
would have ran when he was
Yeah,
murdered.
when the
When Henry was
accident
murdered.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
no, we don't know what the police. I think they swept all this under the rug. IMO.
Okay, well let's go to like the admin office or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's explore the building and see what we can find.
Yeah, you dig through some of the rooms and explore through the rest of the building, and you eventually find the office. And it looks like sort of anything of value here has been picked clean. The safe has been emptied out, and if there was a terminal on the desk, it's definitely been stolen. If you're looking for a way to access the cameras, I think there'd probably still be, the panel in the ceiling that would then plug into their terminal that you could probably plug into and, try to see if there's any data still on the local server here.
All right, Bunk, you know what to do.
And I can help.
Yeah. This is going to be a simple one. Like, just make it one roll. So,
Olivia, why don't you do this one?
I don't know if I'm ready.
You got it.
Okay.
got it.
You got this. I start playing like a really hype beat. That's my hack and groove.
Well, let's just do a synth roll again. I think it's pretty straightforward. Like you just basically have to plug in. You don't have to really bypass any major security or anything.
It's all local, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like splicing the cables together in the right way.
Can I roll to assist Olivia and kind of like coach her through this?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
For baby's first hack.
It's my first hack.
So 9 to aid.
I got a 5 plus 2 mind plus then the 1 to aid with Bunk there.
Cool. I'm happy with that. It's a pretty simple maneuver, I think.
See, you got this. It's easy.
Thanks.
I think the consequence, the 7 to 9, is just that you're not going to get as much information as you might have hoped, but you are able to load up the cameras, a server, and there's still some footage on there. You see a lot of it has become kind of corrupted or, like as if when a hard drive gets magnetized or something like that, a bunch of it is fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
You wind back about a month or so, and you're able to catch 4 suspicious-looking people. You get them walking in, you don't get them walking out, which might have been helpful, but hey, that's what a 7 gets you.
An 8.
An 8, that's what an 8 gets you. And do you guys want to re-describe these 4 individuals? Maybe starting with BBB?
slightly over middle-aged, overweight-ish guy. Yeah, he's got a tank top on, balding, meaty, very meaty looking, Sweatpants.
What about Dandelion?
You see a hippie-like figure, long hair. It's got these nice big round shades on and a lot of patchwork clothing and definitely like a bounce to his step as he like strolls out. Which, considering the situation, is kind of fucked up, but
That is
I was just
fucked.
thinking that.
Well, this was on the way in, so you
okay.
whatever happened.
This was
happened,
before.
Yeah. And by the way, if this is confusing, listen to episode 15, which is where all this was set up.
Mm-hmm.
What about Lex?
She's on the shorter side. She's kind of short, stout, has a purple wig on top of her bald head, and you can just barely see some tattoos kind of going up her neck. Otherwise, she's completely covered from head to toe in a big white flowing robe that looks like she made herself, probably.
And the last was Bogdan, although you guys don't know their names. The fourth person in the group is tall and lanky and looks pretty young. One of those clubs that you'd use to secure a car. He's carrying it in his hand like a makeshift weapon and is looking very nervous.
I'm nitpicking here, but wasn't there 5 of us?
Yeah, I actually literally just remembered that as I was saying this.
But he was basically invisible all the time anyway.
It's weird.
Yeah,
he doesn't show up on cameras.
A fifth figure kind of just buried in his phone, I
God.
think.
We're going total altered carbon on this. There's like an invisible guy in that show. All right.
I actually don't mind the idea that like the fragmentation has made it that you can't see him as well. You just see kind of a silhouette.
I'm
there.
all for it.
May or may not be a fifth figure in the background.
Yeah.
There's like a ripple on the feed and, something, but is it a person? Who knows?
Yeah, it looks like there's a fifth figure there, but you just, again, the footage is damaged. You can't really quite make it out.
Yeah, it doesn't
my
look like
God.
anyone's even interacting with him.
It's one of the angels, guys. It kind of looks blue to me. I don't know.
It's all black and white. That's weird.
I might have taken something before this.
Some blue pills. Cool, yeah. You download that video file, what's left of it anyway, and save it onto your pad.
Yeah, we'll
right,
just take
guys.
some stills of these fools.
Yeah,
and
I think we know what we have to do with this now.
gotta look them up on the dark web.
No, I was going to go to a church meeting.
Yeah.
But you can do that too while I look up who these people actually are.
Yeah, if you want, but
We could do a little bit of research first.
Yeah, before we go.
Maybe listen to this guy's podcast a little bit. Check out their social media feeds. Look into these 4 individuals. See if we can find out anything about them. Then head to the church.
Yeah, this sounds like a good plan.
So which one of those things are you starting with?
Let's look up these fools.
Okay.
I'll do the research on the podcast and kind of just listen to everything this guy said about Passing Angel Axiom. And because I do get the feeling that like he was on to something that they probably heard and didn't like that he put out there, or maybe was about to put out there. But I was also thinking like I could get on this guy's like computer and find maybe any projects that he hadn't released yet or something.
Possibly, yeah. We'll start with what you hear just from listening to the last few episodes. There was only one episode about the Axiom that was actually released, and it was kind of his introduction, It was just about getting into the meetings and, the early bits of the sermons that he heard. And he does do a lot of kind of hinting about you definitely want to hear what's coming up next, but there isn't really anything juicy in that release.
Do I get a feeling of how far he's recording in advance?
He doesn't date himself, unfortunately, no.
Smart.
We should try to figure out where he lives, too.
Adira gave you his, at least the apartment that she knew that he was living at.
I feel like that's going to be our HQ, guys.
I mean, yeah, we could head over there and I could check there's any unreleased podcasts.
That's a good idea.
And while we're on the way, I just want to do a quick Google image search of these faces and see what I can find on their socials.
Okay. So it's a research mind roll then, if you're just searching in, publicly accessible information.
In this case, I am, yes. Yep. I rolled a 10 plus 2.
Oh my goodness. So you get intel And you would get to answer 2 questions from the list. Where would I find blank? How secure is blank? Who or what is related to blank? Who owned or employed blank? Who or what is blank most valuable to? What is the relationship between blank and blank? Yeah, I guess depending on how you approach this could be about an individual of these 4 people, or it could be about the group as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an individual in this case because I have a feeling Dandelion probably has a real big online presence.
You'd be wrong, unfortunately. He's off the grid, man.
He had like a cell phone and everything and like got money wired to him. So how is he off the grid?
Well, he's pretending to be.
That's what I mean. Like pretended to be, but I think he probably really like posts a lot of shit probably out of everybody. So it'd either be between him or Sean's character, who I don't remember his name, Bogdan.
Yeah, Bogdan was kind of a very kind of regular guy. So I think he probably would have some social media presence, but nothing like out of the ordinary. Yeah, I mean, with Dandelion, he was, I think, kind of had a bit of a sheltered kind of upbringing, it sounded like to me, with rich folks that were paying his way and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously that's up to you, though.
I just feel like he would have images like whatever the Instagram version would be in the future. Kind of thing that maybe we could see where the dude hangs out.
I think it's quick pics we established.
Quick pics. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, just do a quick comb of his quick pics. See who he's hanging out with.
Does that sound okay, Dan?
Yep.
Cool. Where is the place that Dandelion would likely hang out?
That isn't just the Axiom.
Yeah.
It's like a community center that does like drum circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be something along those lines.
Also, it's like maybe you don't have a huge online presence personally, but other people take pics and tag you and stuff.
Or like a granola store.
His whole thing was just that he was like rich, basically. He had like rich parents, basically, right?
Yeah, but he was like very hippie himself.
Yeah, but he's a total hippie.
What are those trees called? They're like banyan trees, where they're like really old and they have like lots of vines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
He like hangs out at a park with one of those.
Just one?
Well, yeah, it's a really big banyan tree, and then everyone hangs around
in this
around
future,
it.
probably one tree.
Oh, it's just like a park that everyone hangs out at.
Yeah, it's a park. It's like a tiny park in the middle of the city somewhere.
Banyan Canyon.
With a banging tree.
Banyan Canyon Park. That's pretty good. So he like takes pictures, not of himself, because he's not like vain, but he takes pictures of like the wildlife and stuff at the park.
I like the idea of what Cristina said, where he gets tagged in photos a lot of other people.
It's like, oh, look at Dandelion ascending to the next meditation level.
he's always hanging off those branches and while meditating.
Okay, sure. So you found a spot where one of these individuals, Dandelion, which you're able to find out the name in your research here, often hangs out at this park with a kind of a bit of a touristy attraction. It sounds like like a lot of people come to take pics for the feed.
I mean, it's got a real tree.
Mm-hmm. A real tree. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So that's one meeting location. You do have one more question.
Does it have to be about Dandelion, or can I do a different person? What's the relationship between like a hippie like Dandelion and this big meaty dude? Do they keep in touch?
Is there any pictures of the two of them together?
We already know the answer to that is no.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Well, who knows what they've been up to in the past month or something.
I don't know. I feel like Dandelion would try to get BBB to like come to the park one of the days or something like that.
So maybe I think there's maybe at one point we see BBB in a bar somewhere.
Oh, can it be at the park and he's getting his donuts stolen by a pigeon?
Oh, yes. That is what's happening.
Okay.
He did go to the park.
Or there was like a soup kitchen there and he was in like line.
He's not homeless.
I know, but it's free soup.
No, but he loves free food.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe, that's what it is. Dandelion was probably volunteering at a soup kitchen.
In the park, yeah.
In the park, yeah.
Soup in the park is what we call it.
That's why BBB would be there. And then it'd be like, hey, we know each other. Remember when we killed that guy?
Yeah, good time. The picture is them like high-fiving.
So weird.
Actually, I think I want to see that scene, but not right now because we have to wrap up. But
maybe that's what we can see, though, is the fact that there's going to be a local soup kitchen day soon.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So you're able to track down as well one of the other individuals, BBB, and you see that he frequents, a soup kitchen kind of alms setup that's there every once in a while.
Kitchen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Enjoying the fresh air, quote unquote.
That's how I love to have soup outside.
And it looks like both of these individuals have been at these events, at least with some regularity. So that would be a good opportunity to, get two birds with one stone.
Get two birds stoned at once.
To get two birds stoned at once. The way this should work is that so that you guys aren't playing two characters at once, Bunk and Garrett should go to this scene to see BBB and Dandelion, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I never turned down a soup.
We can just say everybody else got sick of all the burn nightly.
Tiz and Olivia are off doing something else.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are investigating a different thing. So Bunk and Garrett, you head down to this park where you know that both BBB and Dandelion have shown up in the past. In really stark contrast to the surroundings, these really kind of bleak, industrial, brutalist buildings, and there's this nice little park in the center with this large tree with large roots that wind out throughout the park and these big vines that you can clamber up. And you see off on one side of the park, there's some tables set up where there are volunteers handing out food to the homeless. And Bunk and Garrett start walking over to the lineup to see if they spot any of the individuals they're interested in. Before they see the people they're looking for, they see somebody else familiar that they recognize. Standing in line with a plate in hand. They're big, they're meaty, they're muscular.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
And you see Blunderbuss Bailey.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening to this episode of The House of Bob. We'd really appreciate it if you gave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's a great way to help people find the show, and we'd love to get some more friends. While you're at it, tell some of your friends. Hit us up on social media at The House of Bob, where you can chat with us and like-minded individuals. If you'd like to support the show, you can either check out our Patreon, where we've got lots of bonus content like a director's commentary, some one-shots, RPG zines, a monthly blog post with RPG supplements and inspiration and that kind of thing. You can also check out our Etsy, where we have physical copies of those zines for sale, as well as dice trays and some cool bookmarks and that kind of thing. I'd like to thank our existing patrons. That's Volt, Tyler K., Tom Wesley, Mike from the Tales from the Glassgarter World podcast, Sylvia Douglas, Scooter Emerson, Robert, Ray Kearney, Luke Conroy, Kieran Duffy, Keith Haddad, Josh Jordan, Jessica, and Blackout12. Artwork for this episode was by Sean at Sean Makes. Audio production was by Alex, Astronomic Audio. And the music was by John Julius, licensed under Creative Commons by attribution. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Roll on. Banyan tree.
Banyan.
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 Banyan.